In this tutorial, I will show you how to transform this raw Adidas sales dataset into this fully interactive Excel dashboard. We will build the KPI cards, the charts, and slicers step by step. And by the end of the video, you'll be able to create the complete dashboard yourself. Today I'm going to be showing you how we built this very simple Adidas sales analysis dashboard in Microsoft Excel. Like I said, it is very simple, not complicated, and is very beginner friendly. So I'm going to show you how to create it. This dashboard is just one page and has filters, so it is very dynamic. Okay, and it has KPIs and indicators too. I built this dashboard during a class session with my students, and right now I'm giving it all away free. I'm going to show you how we build this from the start to the finish using simple pivot table analysis. So let's get into it. So to get started, we'll be using this Adidas sales dataset. It's a very popular dataset. You can find it online. We also downloaded it from the website. So all we need to do is to clean it up and then make it to a standard format for analysis. So we're going to take this table right now to Power Query by clicking on Data tab, then selecting from Table or Range. So we're in Power Query right now, and all we need to do is to check through our columns to ensure that they are all in the right format. So our retailer ID, invoice date, we can see it here, no errors, no empty values, region, state, let's keep scrolling, city, New York, city, products, ABC, that is data type text, price. Price is in numbers, so I'm just going to change it to currency, replace current. Come to units sold, and it's in whole number, so leave it that way. Total sales should also be changed to currency, replace current. Operating profit should also be currency, replace current. Operating margin should be in percentage, replace current. Keep going. And then our sales method in text. So these are all in the right formats. Once you're done with this step, just select close and load. Remember, it's just one data set, so we're just going straight to pivot table. So now we have our table cleaned and properly loaded. What we need to do right now is to create a pivot table for our analysis. So to create a pivot table, just you can select anywhere on the data set, go to Insert, then select Pivot Table. Select New Worksheet. Don't make any change to the table or range name and click OK. So now you have a page for your pivot table. So this is where we're going to be doing the magic. Before we start building our pivot table, let's look at our brief. By brief, I mean the set of questions we are going to be answering using this data set. So this is the brief on the screen. We're going to answer these 6 questions. Which retailer made the total highest sales? Which region generated the most sales? Which product sold the most units? And which sales method has the highest total sales? What is the monthly sales trend over time? And which product made the highest operating profit? So we're going to start with the first question. Which retailer made the highest total sales? Let me just copy out that question and then paste it here. So which retailer made the highest total sales? I'm just going to merge all of this. Go to home, merge and center. Okay, go back, sorry. Select this first one, merge and center, and then we're going to highlight the cell so we'll see what we're doing properly. So which retailer made the highest total sales? To answer this question, we need two columns, the retailer column and the total sales column. So select your pivot table and scroll down to retailer. So this is what we call our pivot table fields. From our pivot table fields, you can see four fields there: the filters, the columns, the rows, and the values field. So for the purpose of this analysis, we are going to be using mainly the rows and the values field. So take your retailer and drag it down to rows, and then take your total sales here and drag it down to values. If you notice what I did, the text went to retailer and the values as a number column went to values. So if you want to make any calculation based on numbers, take your number column to values, while the text column remains in rows or columns. So that's one thing I want to mention. But if you, that doesn't mean that you cannot take a text column to values field. If you take something like a text column to value field, it will count it. It will just count the number of items in that particular column instead of summing it up for you. Anyway, that's by the way. So we'll have our retailer by total sales here. Once you have this on your pivot table, right click, sort it from largest to smallest, and you're good to go. Remember, this is sales, so we're going to highlight it and format it as a currency. So what did I do? Highlight it, right click, format sales, come to currency, and take it to zero decimal places and click OK. Once you are done with this first question, copy this table again, Control C, just paste it beneath it. We're going to be answering the second question in a minute. But before we do that, let's check the questions again. So this is question 2, which says, which region generated the most sales? So copy that question, copy the question, come back and answer the question. So paste that question here. Which region generated the most sales? I'm just going to merge this and highlight the question and put the number. This number 2. So for my question, you say two columns are also involved, the region versus the sales column. So select your pivot table, drag out the retailer, drag out total sales, which we use in the first table, and then bring in your region table, drag it to rows, take your sales table, total sales, drag it to values, and we have our answer. Then right click, sort it from largest to smallest. So I can see the region that generated the most sales. If you look at my table, you can see that I have two pivot tables. I didn't create a separate sheet for each pivot table. So I'll just use one sheet for all my pivot tables. Now to get the third pivot table I need, I'm just going to copy all of this pivot table again. Copy it from top to down, from the first blue to the last cell for that particular table. If not, you will not be able to copy it as a pivot table. So Control C, give a little space below for your answer, then Control V. So let's go and bring in our third questions. Come to Home, Merge and Center, highlight the question. I want us to be seeing the question and the answers we give. So which product sold the most units? Right now, we're talking about product versus units, total units sold. So we're going to remove the region, we're going to remove the sum of sales and leave it empty. Then we'll bring in our product here and bring in our units sold here. I can see the units sold is in currency. We want it to be in whole number only, no currency. So right click, come to format cells again, come to number and click OK, and you have your units sold. Very easy to do. Now let's copy it for the next question. Control C, give a little bit space behind, and Control V. Then drag out the items in that table to prepare it for our next question. So let's go and pick question number 4. So let's put drag and drop. Which sales method has the highest total sales? So we're talking about sales method and sales. Those two combinations, we have it here on the table. Remember, this is a very simple analysis. So we're basically using pivot table to do a basic analysis of this question. So this is very, very beginner friendly. So we're looking for the sales method table. Let's scroll down. We have it here. Drag it down. And this total sales again, pick your total sales and drag it down. If you notice, when copying my pivot table, I copy from the last table. Please do not copy from the previous tables. Each time you want to generate a new table, always copy from the last table. Always copy from the last table. So go to sum of total sales again, highlight all of them, right click, format cells, and format it as currency. Put it to the zero decimal places and click OK. Right click, format cells, go to currency, sorry, and click OK. Now let's copy our table for the next pivot table. Control C and Control V. You can see that we're just mainly doing copy and pasting, dragging and dropping. Very easy, right? So let's remove this and pick our next question. We have answered 4 questions so far. We're doing well. Remaining 2 more questions. Let's pick it up here. What is the monthly sales trend over time? So copy that question. So for our fifth question, we're going to drag in. This is now where it gets interesting. Now we're talking about time, the monthly sales trend over time. This is why it is very important that when you were cleaning up your table, you set your date table as a time table, as a date table. If not, you might not be able to work or do this, you might not be able to use it as a trend or to split it into years, months, quarter, and the rest of the time series. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to first of all take our dates column by total sales. So take your total sales and drag it to values. Then take your dates, the invoice date, and drag it to rows. So once you drag it to rows, you will notice something interesting. The years, the invoice date, the quarters. Look at it here. We have years, we have quarters, we have months, and we have invoice dates. Now, this would not have been possible if this table, if that column, the date column was not set as a proper date column. So what we need now is just the months. Okay, so we'll remove the invoice date, remove the quarters, and remove the years. You have your monthly sales trend. Very easy. There's another way of doing this, and another way of doing this is by let's take in the invoice date again and dragging it here. If you don't want to remove it from here, although this is like the simplest method, if you are looking for other options, just come to your row labels, select any one of the dates, right click, come to filter, come to group, sorry, select group, and here you can click and select what exactly you need. So I don't want years, I don't want quarters, I want months. You can select dates, hours, minutes, seconds, depending on what you want to see or what you want to analyze. So I need just the month and I'll click OK. So you can see it here. Now, for this particular case, I do not need to sort this column from largest to smallest. I want it to follow this chronological order from January to December. So this is very okay. I forgot that my previous table, I have not sorted it out. So let's sort the previous table. That's question number 4. Right click and sort from largest to smallest. Come to unit sold to right click, sort largest to smallest. So we'll have one more question. Select, highlight all of this table, copy, then drag down, come down and paste that table. The last question is what we're going to pick right now. So let's remove what we don't need and pick our last question. Which product made the highest operating profit? By now, you should have known merge and center. I'm just doing it. You must not merge and center. I'm just putting the questions here for the purpose of this class. So let's put in 6 and good to go. Now, go to your table. Select product versus operating profit. So drag your operating profit to values and drag your product to rows. Remember, we are going to be sorting this out from largest to smallest. So right click, sort largest to smallest, and you're good to go. So now we have created our pivot table. We have made a very basic analysis here. Now we want to generate the charts that we'll be using for this particular table to build the dashboard. So to generate our chart, it is also very simple, but take note of these instructions. Number one, to generate a chart for each pivot table, you must be selecting inside the pivot table. Your mouse must be clicked in the pivot table like this. If I want to create a chart for this pivot table, I have to click on this pivot table. It doesn't matter how I click it, just make sure your mouse is active inside this pivot table. Now go to Insert and come to Recommended Charts, and then you will see a lot of a lot of charts or options that you can pick from. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to be using a bar chart. Select bar chart and click OK. Remember, we had sorted this out from largest to smallest. So this is what we have on our bar chart. This is for retailer versus total sales. So I'm just going to clean this up. Double click, select retailer versus total sales. Or if you want to make this more interesting, that is the title, because your title says a lot about your chart. You can put in the question there, or say something like rank of retailers by total sales. Or you can say by sales. Rank of retailers by sales. Let's use by sales. Then when this is done, let's clean it up nicely. We're not yet done. Come to your sum of total sales, right click. You see these buttons on the chart? Just right click on any one and hide all few buttons on chart. Come to this legend, this particular option here, this box, and delete it. Then come to these numbers here and delete it, because we'll be putting on our data type. Then come here and drag up this title up a little bit. Come here by the side. Let's hide our grid lines. We really don't need it at this point in time. Now come to your retailers, come to home. I want to change the font from that Aptos Narrow to, let's say, Anaheim. Let's just use a nice chart. Select your title again, come back to home. I'm just going to pin this here, then reduce the size of the font to 12. I think 12 is okay. Now you can see that our bars is ranking from lowest to longest, while we had sorted it from highest to lowest here. So I'm just going to switch this. How do we do this? Select the chart itself, or you can select here, just select the whole chart anyway. Come to your format chart area, select, click on this blue inverted arrow, come to vertical category axis, select this last option, the axis options, expand and click categories in reverse order, and you have your categories. So for your values here, come here and select the same font style that we used. So once this is done, the next thing we need to do is to change our bar colors. If you are not comfortable using this bar color, right click, come to outline. I don't want to use any outline, so I'll select no outline. Come to fill, and let's use a light blue fill for this. I think this fill color is okay. If you want to use gradient, you can also use gradient, but I will not be using gradient for this particular dashboard. If you use a gradient to give you something like this, but this is not the kind of gradient I personally would love to use. So that's why I'll just go for a more solid color. So no gradient, just solid fill, this. So we'll have our rank of retailer by sale, but we're not yet done. If you look at our shape itself, you can see that it is squared. Personally, I would love to make it a rounded shape, but if you prefer square shapes, then still fine. You can't see it clearly because the background is white, but let's change the background a little bit. This is the background of this page. So just come here, highlight the whole page, come to fill, and let's use a darker shade, maybe 5% darker. Good. So you can see what I'm talking about here. This is what I was talking about. Okay, so and all our pivot tables are, let's go back again. So select your charts, come to fill, come to border, scroll down to the end and select rounded corners. Make sure you select this before you remove the border line if you want to remove the border line. But for the purpose of this dashboard, we are removing the border line. So come to outline and select no outline. And you have a clean rounded chart like this. Remember, we've not put our data type, so click on chart elements and select data labels. And you have your data label showing. You have a neat chart that visualizes just what you want. The next one is our row label. He said which region generated the most sales. So we have west, north, south, east, south, and midwest. We're going to be using that to answer the question. So to answer this question, we can choose a simple chart to use too. So let's use another chart like the bar chart we used earlier. So select this second pivot table, insert recommended chart and come to bar, select it and click OK. So this is what we'll be using for this. And this title will be region by sales. So you can see region, rank of region by sales. And drag it up here. So since we already have a bar chart here, we don't need to start formatting everything again from scratch. Very simple thing for you to do is this. Select the whole chart like this, copy it, Control C. We want to copy the formatting of this chart. So copy the whole chart, Control C. Don't paste it out. Select the second chart. Make sure you select the second chart, else this will not work. Select the second chart and do Control V to paste it. So can you see what we did here? Very simple and easy. It copied all the formatting, including the font name, the font style, and the style, the way we formatted the charts, the rounded shape, everything was copied. So this is what we have. So we have our second chart, rank of region by sales. Now let's do our next chart. So which product sold the most units? Insert again, select recommended chart. Let's try a column chart this time around. Select column and then click OK. So because this is a column chart, we cannot copy the formatting of the previous chart because it is a different chart. So we'll have to, format this again. Right click, hide all fill buttons on charts. Come here, delete this as we'll be putting on our data labels. Add your data labels this time around so you can see it clearly. Remove the total and expand it. Come back to chart elements, remove grid lines. I really don't like grid lines a lot, but you can actually put it if you like it, but don't make it so pronounced. Then for your title, I can say products that sold the most units or products versus unit. Then come to home. I'm going to reduce it to 12, highlight everything, reduce it to 12, and then go to the font style. I'm going to be using Anaheim, just like I used before. So font styles, select your product versus unit again, expand and select Anaheim, which we use. You can actually select Anaheim medium or semi bold since we're working with the title here. Let's do the same for here. Rank of region by sales, Anaheim semi bold. Do the same for this so it will not be too tiny. Okay, so let's continue. So for the bars, the columns rather, right click, select it, right click. I'm going to remove the outline. I don't want outline. Scroll down, no outline. Come to fill and select that recent fill that you use. Let's use that same blue fill. And then select this, right click, select pivot charts option, no, select format charts area, then come down to border and select rounded corners under chart options. Once you've selected your rounded corners, you have your rounded corners, select that chart again, right click, go to outline and remove outline, no outline. Now, for the sum of total sales, yeah, we have three categories here: in-store, outlet, and online. So instead of using either bar or column, I'm going to be using a donut chart for this. It will be very nice. But donut charts are always used to show parts of a whole, mainly percentages most times. So I'm going to change this to a percentage. So select anywhere, it's okay, on under sum of total sales, right click, right click and select show values as percentage of grand total. Once you have done that, come to insert, recommended charts and select your pie. Come to pie here and select donuts. Click OK. So you have your sales method by total sales. Now remove, hide all fill buttons. You don't really need it. Then drag this to the middle, come to total here, rename it like we did with others, sales method by sales. Come to home and highlight everything, reduce it to 12. Come here and select Anaheim semi bold. Then for your charts, we're not going to leave it in multiple colors. We're going to change the colors one by one. So first of all, select everything, right click and remove all the outlines. Then once you are done removing the outlines, select one by one. I'm going to double click on one, right click, come to fill, and we'll use that same fill color I used for the last one. Then select the second one. Now you double click on it so it to be selected, only it to be selected. Come to fill and select a lighter shade of this blue. So what do we use as a lighter shade? I think this will be a nice color to use. Then come here, double click again, right click and select another lighter color. So you have three lighter colors. Now, once this is done, we need to put in our labels. So come to plus, put your data labels, and it is, I would love to use this type. So expand it, come to data callout and use data callout. Now for my data callout, I'm just going to drag it out. Just drag out the callouts. Let's go back a little. Select the box and drag out. Select this one too and drag out. Select this and drag it out. Good. It looks not good but not so good. So let's select all of them this time around. Come here under format, select no border. I don't want any border. Then come to fill. We're going to use this light fill for this particular border. Can you see how good it looks? So we have online, install, and so come to home and still select Anaheim. I'm just going to select the normal one. So you have online, install, and outlet. So for our border, you can see if I had put a solid line, I think I would be able to, okay, just select it as no line. You're good to go. So this is what we have now for our donut chart. Now, let's come to the main, not the main, really. Let's come to the monthly sales trend. And in this instance, we're going to be using a line chart. So come to Insert, Recommended Charts, and drag in your line chart. Look at it here. Click OK. And once you have it here, right click, hide all field buttons, double click on the title and write monthly sales trend. Now highlight all of this, come to home, reduce it to 12, and then change the font style to monthly sales trend to Anaheim semi bold. Remove this legend, we don't need it since it's just one variable there. Then I think we can remove this too. We can remove this. Let's try our data labels first. Okay, no. So let's go back. Let's keep that back. Let's keep this back because the data labels will make everything look messy. And the grid lines, I'm not going to remove it entirely this time around. So I'll just come here, come to grid lines, and then come to select the grid lines, select the grid lines itself. Now you can see I just selected the line. Come to transparency here, come here to transparency and increase the transparency. Just want to make it not so pronounced. You can see it's a bit reduced now. Okay, it's there but it's not so obvious. Now select your chart, come to border, scroll down and make it rounded. I didn't make this one rounded, so I'll select it too and scroll down, make it rounded. Then right click, outline, no outline. Do the same for this, right click, outline, no outline. So which product made the highest operating profit? We have our product versus operating profit this time around. So we can create, insert, select this particular pivot table again, insert your recommended chart. And which recommended chart do you think we should take this time around? We've used two bars, so let's try the column chart and click OK. So since we have a column chart already, let's just change the name here to product versus profit. Once you've made this, all you need to do is copy the formatting of the previous column you had, this one here, hold it down, Control C, come down to the last column, press it down and press Control V. So can you see, very beautifully done. We have our product versus profit and we have all other items we need. For this line, I want it to rhyme with the same color with all other charts. So right click, come to, we're not going to be using fill for line. For line chart, you use outline. So select outline and select that blue color you use for the others. Then remove fill, no fill. For the outline too, for the line, select that line again, come to chart options here, come to series option. You can see our line option. We have a line, we have marker. So for line is solid. For the width, let's reduce the width so as to make it slimmer. Looks okay. If you want to put markers, you can choose to put markers here, but I will always recommend using markers for when you want to show something like the highest or the lowest time in the month. But we are not going to do that in this dashboard. Probably in our next Excel dashboard, I'll show you how you can do that. But this is how markers work. So for markers, all you need to do is to pick a type of marker you need. Look at the type of marker we have. If you want to select, you select marker built-in, then select the type you need for this chart. You can see how it works. Look at, so we're not going to be using markers here anyway. So come back to marker and come to marker options, select none. We don't need markers. So let's continue with where we stop. We're done with our line charts. For the line, I don't want it to be so jagged like this, so sharp. I want it to be a bit smooth. So I'm going to scroll down and select smoothed line. So select smoothed line and to make it smooth and flowy. So you can see what I'm talking about now. So we have all our charts ready and created in just a few minutes. I bet you can do this yourself. So while you're still working on your own, let's go to the next one, which is our dashboard. To create a new dashboard, we need to first of all create a new blank worksheet here in this page. So click on this plus sign and then rename this page to your dashboard page. Okay, so let's say dashboard page. You can just simply put it there, or you can name it as dashboard, simply put and enter. Now, once you've named your dashboard, come to page layout. We're going to remove our grid lines. We don't want the line showing, so that this will enable us to place our charts and any other kind of visual I want to put in here. So next thing we're going to do is to put in a dashboard background. I'm not going to be using plain white. I'm going to be using a very light blue dashboard background for my chart. So to set a dashboard background for everything, don't just do Control A. Yeah, you can do that, but a faster way is to just come to this arrow sign in the middle of column A and row 1 and click on it and everything will be highlighted. Now go to home, select colors. Sorry, this is your fill color, so select it. Come to more colors. This is the color I'll be using, but let's go to more colors. So go to more colors, go to custom and then paste in that color you'll be using right there. So I'm going to be using this color code here and ensure you set it properly. Now, write the color code on my screen is hashtag E9F7FD. So copy that color code and set your new background if you want to use this particular color. Click OK. The only reason why we're using custom color is because this color shade I want to use is not here. I can't find it here in the options, so I just need to create my own shade. So click OK, and you have a nice light blue background. Next, we're going to be bringing in a text box for our dashboard title, that is our dashboard header and a subtitle. So come to insert a text box. Then we're just going to, you have this kind of inverted sign, drag out the text box title just by the side here. We're going to have another one. So all we need to do is just Ctrl C and Ctrl V, copy and paste. So we'll have two of them here. So one will serve as our header and the other one will serve as a subtitle. So the header is basically the title of your project. So you can put in a header that will fit in properly with your analysis or your project. So since I use an Adidas Sales Dashboard, sorry. So since I used an Adidas sales data sets, I can say something like Adidas sales analysis. Or you can say, instead of just saying Adidas sales, you can say Adidas sales performance analysis. Then for my subtitle, this is simply a very brief explanation of what the dashboard is about. So I'm just going to keep it very simple. So this analysis is done to check the performance of is done to check the performance of Adidas by several key factors. So we can just leave it very, very simple like this. If you want to make your own a little bit more detailed, it's fine. So, and another thing is that this is very, very optional. This is very, very optional. You can choose to have this, you can choose not to have it. Talking about the subtitle. So for the header, all we need to do right now is to format it properly. I'll be using the same formatting I use for my pivot charts. So select this, just highlight everything, come to home. I'm going to be using the same Anaheim I used for the other one. So I'm going to just use Anaheim extra bold. If that's your choice, you can increase it to make it bigger. Okay, let's so making extra bold. Let's say semi bold still works. Please drag it up. Do the same for this one. So Control A, come to home, Anaheim, semi bold or medium. You can just use medium and drag it up. Still drag it up a little bit. We just want to have just a little bit of space between the main title and the wall. That is the border of this particular page. We don't want this title touching the headline. So you already have your Adidas sales performance and you have your subtitle, but we're not done with the formatting because I'm still going to reduce this. This will come up to, let's come to home, increase it to 12. Then we're going to set a a color for our text. So I'm going to be using this color here, this light gray color. I'll do the same for this particular text box, which is a light gray color. So come to home and select that same light gray color. Just change it to the light gray color and you're good to go. Now once you're done, select the chart, right click, come to outline, no outline, come to fill, no fill. Now there's a faster way of copying the formatting of this particular text box to this second one. So while this one is still being selected, come to home, select format painter, and then once you've selected format painter, click it here. And it has done, although it changed everything. So copy everything and reduce the size to 12 like you wanted. So that's the problem with format painter. When you use format painter, it's just going to format it exactly as the formatting of the one you copied it from. So we have our header, we have our subtitle beneath it. Now the next thing we need to do is to bring in our chart. So to do that, just go to pivot table and copy out all those charts that you have created there. Copy, highlight all of them. I'm highlighting it by holding down my control key and then selecting all the charts. Select everything. Then control C, come back to the dashboard and paste the chart there. Control V. Now drag it up so all the charts will come up. Because sometimes when you paste it like that, some charts will be down. You have to scroll a long way down to get all the charts in order. So at least everything is showing here. Now we're going to start arranging our charts. To arrange our charts, we need to place like items together, and then we need to arrange it nicely so that each chart is connected. So we're going to take in our rank of retailers by sales and rank of region by sales. So take this particular one here and let's just put it here. Then take your region, drag it and put it here. Remember, we've not put in other items like our KPI and our slicer. We're going to be doing that once we're done with this. Let's just arrange all of this first. Then take your product and product versus unit, just drag it up. Let's drag this up too. There is one more chart that is under here. Scroll down and pick it. So our monthly trend is just going to sit nicely by this side here. I want to remove these grid lines in the monthly trend. If you want to leave it there, it's fine and good. Like I mentioned, you can make it very light or you can remove it if it's to your own taste. Honestly, our data label is there, so I don't really need it. So come to plus here. You have your chart elements and remove the grid lines and it is gone. I just want it to be well aligned with or be very consistent to the background of the other charts I'm using. So take your products versus units sold and drag it down. Then this our sales method by total sales. Is it sales method or you can say sales outlets, any one of it by total sales. This one is our product versus unit sold. I'm still going to drag this up so I can adjust this one. Rename it very well. Product versus unit sold. Okay, so let's close this a little bit first. Now for our line chart, that's the trend. Let's drag it here. Remember, like I said, I don't want it to be too close to the wall. So select this one, adjust it to the side too, a little bit down with still spacing between this and the wall. Drag these two to the side, a little bit with two spacing, a little bit of spacing. I'm going to reduce the size of this one so that it will fit in with extra spacing between them. Basically, what we're doing now is just to make the dashboards very well and very well aligned with the other charts around it. Make sure that everything is properly aligned. Then put in your sales method by total sales here. Drag this down so it will be on the same line. Do the same for this, drag it down so it will be on the same line. So there's a very fast and better way to make sure that all your charts are aligned. So especially for these ones, in a straight line, either vertically or horizontally. So for the horizontal line chart, which is this one's under, I'm just going to hold down my control key and select the three charts. Come to shape format. This option where you have align, select it. We're first of all going to align it to the bottom, or you can align to the top so that they're all on the straight line up. Then select again. You're going to distribute horizontally. Distributing horizontally will ensure that you have exactly the same equal spacing between the three charts. So once you are done, you can then unselect. Um, Select this one and drag, expand this one a little bit to the down so that they will all be on the same. Now let's do the same for this. Okay, you can't really do the same for this until you have more than two charts. Okay, if you select these two and do the same, come to align, you see you will not have that option to distribute horizontally or vertically because they are just two. So it's assumed you just have to do that adjustment with manually with your own hands. So make sure you adjust it nicely. Like this chart, make sure they are of the same line with the one under. Make sure they're also the same line with the one by the side, and just if remove all this, or if I remove any selection, you see that all the charts are well arranged and well placed by the side of each other and on the top. So you should always be very, very particular about how you arrange your sides, your chart, sorry. Now the next thing we're going to insert is what we call our KPI. So insert a text box or a shape. So in this case, I'm just going to be using shapes. I will use this rounded corner shape, and I'm going to use it to put in my KPI. KPI simply stands for Key Performance Indicators, which is used to simply show a summarized value, the summarized values we have in our data sets, or the key values we want to highlight. So that's what key performance indicators are, and they are a very, very essential part of any visual or any dashboard you are building. So always remember to include it. So I want to have four performance, just four boxes, and I want to use the same color I have used for my chart for that particular um, key performance, sorry, KPI. So select the KPI, right click. I'm going to be using this dark blue color. So right click, come to fill. Okay, come to outline first and select no outline. Then come to fill and use your blue color, not this blue color, please. Use this. You can use this blue color for your KPI. Remember, we want to have four. Want to have four, which is total sales, total profit, units sold, and average operating margin. Let me see. Come to fill again. Let's see. I just need a very nice. I need the same blue, so I can use my color picker to, I can use my color picker to pick the exact blue shade I want. So if you don't have that same blue shade you have here, you can just use another blue shade color. So let's try this one. I think this is a color. I need this exact shade. So let me use my Control Shift C to pick this dark blue shade. This is nice, but because of the kind of formatting I want to use, I need a slightly darker shade. So select this, come to Home, come to Fill again, more fills, come to Custom and paste it here. See guys, you need to learn how to use custom colors a lot. You need to learn how to use custom colors because it is not every time you have that exact color palette you need for your dashboard here, either in Microsoft Excel or Power BI. So, sorry. So Control C and then paste it in three different places. So C V V V. I just need, like I said, I need four. And I still want this font to be well arranged at the edges, just like the other charts. So are you seeing what I'm doing now? Now, because of this space in the middle, I'm still going to expand it because I actually need the expansion. I see, I need it. Now you can see that these two um, KPIs are nicely set. I'm just going to go to shape format and see the size. So the width is 2.72 inches. So let's see here. Shape format 2.72. This is 2.69. So let's change it to 2.72. Let's check here. Shape format 1.2. Do you know what? I'm just going to use one particular width. I'm going to pin this so that I can see everything at the same time. So pin this. Let me look at this here. This 1.23 I'm looking at here, and this is 1.21. So it means that this one is longer than this. I'm just going to increase this to 1.23. And just type it in there, 1.23. So it will be the exact same shape or size with this one. So 1.23 by 2.27. Let's do the next one. 1.23 by 2.27. What's Sorry, 2.72. I was wondering why it didn't increase in width. So 2.72. Do the same here. 1.23 by 2.72. So arrange it. Now you have very well arranged KPIs in the size you want it to be. Still going to drag it. See, I'm very, very particular about arranging your KPIs properly. So if I take a lot of time arranging and dragging this nicely, then I'm sorry, it just has to be. Take your time. Don't rush it. Okay, don't rush it. There's no rushing here. So I think this is fine. And I'll just bring this one down a little, and also bring this one a little bit down. Now I'm going to bring, put anything here, before I put anything here, I'm going to have to bring in my slicer. So select any chart of your choice, come to insert, or you can select this monthly sales trend chart, come to insert here. We're going to be using a timeline slicer, and the timeline should be attached to your date field. So that's why it's very important that before you carry out any analysis, you have to first of all format your date column into a proper date type field. So select this and click OK. Now you have your invoice date here. Now I don't want my date to be for months, I want it to be for years. So we'll have 3 years invoice date type. If you notice, this slicer is only affecting probably just one, just affecting only the line chart. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to select the slicer, right click, select report connection, then select every pivot table here. Select all your pivot tables. We're still going to come back here to report connections once we're done creating our field for the KPI. So click OK. So now you can see that all the charts will now be affected by your line chart. We are not done with this at all. As it is, I just want us to fix this slicer first before we do any other thing. So before we do that, come to your slicer Let me show you how to customize it because we want the background to be exactly the same with our background, dashboard background. So come to the slicer, right click and select duplicate. Once you've duplicated it, rename it Adidas or any name of your choice. Let me just put Adidas 2. Come to whole timeline, click format, come to border, no border, come to fill. This is where we're going to put in our fill. So select more colors, go to custom color. So to select your custom color, I'm still going to use the color picker tool, Ctrl Shift C. I'll select this color and copy it, then come here and paste it inside the hex with the hashtag. Don't remove the hashtag, just the code. Put in the code and click OK. Then go to, I think that's all for this. Click OK. Then come to header, select formats. For the header color, we're not going to use very dark. Let's use a light blue shade, a lighter or a light gray background for your header. Then come to reduce the font size. Then come to the font size has been reduced to 10. Now come to border. I don't want any borders. Come to fill and no color. Use the same colors, more colors, custom color. Paste in that same color code you used earlier and click OK. Click OK. So now let's select OK. We have to do OK first. So once you've done that, you see you have that's your Adidas that you have created here. So select it. Can you see it here? So we'll have our invoice dates. You can now pick the year you want to apply your slicer to. So I'm just going to do a very few settings here. I'm going to remove the header. I'm going to remove the, let me see the time level. No, yeah, I'm going to remove the time level because I just want here the selection label. I'll remove it, then adjust this to the side. So you can now select the particular date you want to filter your information by. Now right click again. Let's look at settings. We have done that already. This is our settings. Okay. So let's come back to timeline. Choose a very nice timeline background that will work. What's this? So you have our date head, our timeline now, which is a filter to use to filter down your information. Put back your header and we're going to rename this header. I want us to rename this header instead of leaving it at invoice dates. So to rename the invoices, still come under timeline. Under timeline caption, this is where you can rename it. So you can say select year and you've renamed it. Can you see? Very nicely done. Like I said, you can also change the settings to make it smaller. So come here again on the timeline you created, right click, select modify, come to your header, format it, come to font. You can make it italic if you want, but let's leave it at regular. Let's make it smaller too. Let's make it even lighter. We don't want it to be too pronounced, and then click OK. Click OK again. So can you see it's a little bit, it's not too pronounced anymore. I've removed the scroll bar too to make it small and fitting. So can you see that we have a very nice slicer sitting by the side? So we have our slicer, we have our in fact, everything nicely done. If you're not comfortable with this color and want to set it to be the exact same color, you still have to modify it. Right click, modify, come to selection label, format, come to the color of your label, sorry, not the selection label, come to time level, format. We're still going to look for this. No, not time level, selected time block. Yes, fill. Good. So this color is what we don't want. So we're just going to choose a light blue color, the same color that we used in the other chart. So I'm going to use my color picker to Windows Shift C. Windows Shift C, you pick it and copy, then come here, close it, come to more colors and paste that color code here. So for your color picker to its Windows Shift C, click OK and OK and OK. So can you see it nicely selected? And there was something amazing that the other formatting had. It had kind of like a shadow. So let's modify and see if we can do that. So selected time block, format, come to more fill effects. Good. Can you see this is what it had? So let's make our own look nice too. Two colors. This is what we have. Click OK. Select more colors again. I still want to use that same color code I used in the previous one. Control V, click OK. Oh, it didn't work. It didn't work. So, okay, this is where you change the color. So, select it as this. You can use this, use this, use this. So, let's use this one and click OK. And click OK. Let's see what it will give us. I really don't like it. So, let's go back to modify. Come to selected time block again, formats. Under the fill effect, we're just going to take a better fill effect. So this one, I'm just going to use a lighter shade of that blue. Don't want it to be too blue. Just um, just from center. No. Now click OK. Click OK. Okay, so it's very fine now. I like it. I like it. So you have your slicer, you have your header and your subheader. You have basically everything you need to have a nice dashboard. So next thing is to fill in our KPI. So I'm just going to do that by creating another new page, and we're going to rename it KPI table. So KPI, sorry, double click KPI or just KPI table. Let's just put a KPI table or just KPI. And it's still your choice. So come to your pivot table field, copy the last pivot table you have created. Control C, come to KPI field and Control V. I don't know why this is here. So Control C, Control V, you have it. Expand this, select the pivot table, come to pivot table and analyze and select your field list so that all of this will show. Now remove every item. We just actually just wanted a very blank pivot table. We're now going to bring in our total sales, bring it to values, bring in your operating profit, bring in your units sold, and bring in your What else are we bringing in here? Bring in your operating margin. Now, for your total sales is properly formatted in dollar sign, operating profits properly formatted. Our units sold, we need to put it back to format it back to general or just number. Click OK. And I'm going to make sure that it's in 0 decimal places, of course, units sold. For your operating margin, you're just going to set it to right click, come to summarize values as average. So all we want to do is all we want to see is the average operating margin. So set it as average. Right click again, come to number formats, come to number and click, leave it at 2 decimal places. Click OK. So you have your average here. You can even go further to right click, come to show summarize values as percentage of grand total. So I want it to be in percentage form. So you can set it as percentage of grand total. So once you do it as percentage of grand total and you apply your filter, it's going to just the filter will be applied exactly to the average operating margin, total average operating margin for that particular year. So let's go back to our dashboard. What we need to do is now is to pick those items on our KPI here. We're not just going to copy and paste. We need to pick the items. So go back to your dashboard. To enable us pick the items using a formula, we're going to use the text box again. Text boxes are very powerful tools to use in Microsoft Excel. They are what they help to for you if you want to make your work dynamic, like you want to have dynamic values on top of a shape, you use text box. Now to pick your items, the first one we're going to be picking is our total sales. So for the main shape itself, double click it and name it total sales. Sorry, let's put it back to how it was. I wanted to copy everything, centralize, and increase the size. Change the size, the font style to let it reflect the same font style you've always used. Put it to semi bold. If you don't want to leave it as if you don't want it to be no caps, you can use small letters also like this. Make it lighter. Reduce the white color. I don't want it to be too pronounced too. Let's use this for now. So this is our total sales, and then for our text box, bring it up to the middle. Okay, select the shape again, come to home, set the total sales to the side, your text box to the side, because we're going to be putting in a line chart for our KPI. So set it to the side and reduce it. So you have your text box and you have your total sales. So for this total sales, I'm going to shift it one more line down. It's two down. So let's go back up. Let's put it back how it was until we are done with every other thing. Then we'll arrange it properly. So select your text box, come to shape format. Sorry, not shape format. Come here and click equal to. Then come back to your KPI and select the sum of total sales and then enter. You see the numbers there. Please, before you do this, before you select equal to and pick that items, go back to your KPI, select any part of it. Make sure you're clicking inside the pivot table. Come to pivot table analyze. Come to option under pivot table name. Expand this option And on tick, you might have this tick here, generate get pivot data. On tick it, make sure the tick is not showing. That way you'll be able to pick this item without any issues. Come back to your dashboard again, copy this, Ctrl C and Ctrl V, paste it here, Ctrl C, and want to have two more. Put it here. So like total sales, total profit, let's pick the next one. Select this, clean this, since we don't need this, equal to, come back to your KPI and pick your operating profit and enter. Do the same for this, clean the previous one, equal to KPI, sum of units sold, enter. Come here again, clean it, equal to, come to your KPI, select your average operating margin. Let's go back to our KPI and work on this operating margin. I don't think I set it properly. Come to summarize values as, sorry, show values as no calculation. Put it as no calculation first. So you have 40. So let's look at our dashboard. We're still coming back to that. So we'll have all these items there. We'll need to still type in the KPI title. So this is total sales. This one will be total profit, or total operating profit. This one will be, this should be our total units sold. We can put units sold. This should be our operating margin. Now we want it to have the same formatting. So select this first one, come to home, copy format painter. I need to pin this. Then paste that painter here. Do another format painter, paste it here. Again, paste it here. So you have your operating margin, total profit, units sold, and total sales. We're going to do the same for the text box. So select all the text box by holding your control key. Only the text box, please. Hold down your control key and select only the text box. Then come to home, or right click on the text box you have selected. Come to outline, no outline. Come to fill, no fill. Then come to your text, make it white. You can make it white and increase the size. Make it bold. Select the same font size you've been using. So you're going to use Anaheim semi-bold this time around. So you have your total sales, your total profit. If you don't like this white, let's see if you can use a black color for this. Make sure it is bold and drag it up to the side. So you can see you have our total sales, you have our total profit, you have our operating margin, and then so make sure that as we are reducing the size, make sure that whenever you apply any filter, it will not make any number hide. So let's select this again and reduce the size a little bit. We're going to do the same for the shapes. Let's reduce the size of the shape to 12. You don't need it to be too much. If it is too dark, please just make it light. If it looks too dark to you, just come here and make it light. Sorry, not for fill, for the text itself. And make it light. and you still have a very nice KPI. The most important aspect of your dashboard is for it to be understandable for anybody who is reading it to understand what you're trying to do. So if it is obscure and nobody is understanding it, then it doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, you will waste a lot of time. All the effort you made building that report will be gone because the person who is going to be using that report will not understand it. So we have our every item we need here except one thing, the line charts. So we're going to go back to the KPI and set our line charts. Before we set our line charts, let's come back here to your operating margin and format it as percentage. So right click, number formats or format cells, come to percentage and reduce it to maybe let's leave it at 0 decimal place and click OK. You can put it at 1 or 2 decimal place, still fine. In fact, let's leave it at 1 or 2. Let's leave it at 2 decimal place. So come back to number format and increase the decimal to 2. So when you check your dashboard, you see that it's been applied here. Nicely done. Now come back to your KPI. Like I said, we're going to be generating our line chart from here. So to set our line chart, we're just going to copy this, Control C, and paste it here. So we're going to have the first table will be for line charts. So remove, we only need the total sales. So we're going to remove everything, total sales by your invoice date. This is what we need. So for invoice date, of course, we'll be using the month. Remove this invoice date. We just want the month. So this will be for total sales. Let's copy it again. Ctrl C, paste it down here. The second one will be not for total sales, but for sum of operating profit. So drag your operating profit here and you're good to go. Let's do the next one. Copy it, Ctrl C. Always copy from the last pivot table you've created and paste it here. So let's paste it by the side here. Expand. Then copy this again, Ctrl C, paste it here. So this next one that we created earlier will be for remove your operating profit to be for units sold. Drag your units sold here. Then this one will be for your operating margin. Drag it here. Remove the operating profit. So you can see that we have formatting issues here. So set it back to average operating margin. Right click. Summarize values as average. Then once it's as average, format it cells to percentage, put it to 2 decimal place and click OK. Do the same for your sum of units sold. Since it's units sold, we don't want it to be in currency format. So format cells to number and click OK. Make sure that your unit sold to right click is formatted to number. You can use a separator and click OK. So separator is that comma sign. Now you have your tables for the line chart. Select any one. Select this first one, insert and insert a line. So we're going to be using this line. Select it. We just need to format this once and then the formatting will apply to everything. So right click, come to format chart area, so we'll have that option by the side. Now I'm going to be removing almost everything here. Right click on the chart, hide all field buttons, remove your total, come to the plus sign, remove grid lines, remove this number by the side. We only need, we're going to leave that one under. So come to the line, select the line, come to smoothed line. Scroll down to under your format line, select smoothed line. Then we're still going to change the line color. No, we're still using the exactly same line color that we've used for the others. So select your line color, or you can even make it dark so it will pop out with the background you have. Once you're done with this, I think I'm still going to do some work on the background of that particular KPI, but let's finish with the line chart. So not Control C, just select the next chart, insert again, and insert your line chart. Drag it down to the side and reduce it. Just adjust it. Don't worry about any formatting. Select the next one, insert, insert recommended chart, come to line and insert. Can you see that there are different ways of inserting here? Minimize, select your operating profit, insert, recommended charts, line, and click OK. And drag it to the side of the operating margin. You can close this format chart area for now. Close your pivot field for now. Come down. Now let's copy our formatting. So right click, come to outline, select no outline, come to right click again, come to fill, select no fill. So you just have the chart like this. So select the chart again, Control C, paste it on the next chart. Select the next chart before you do Control V. Control V. Come here, fill, no fill. So you know how we copy formatting. Select this one again, Control C, select this, Control V. Remove the inside fill to no fill. Do the same again, Control C and select it, Control V. So select the inside chart, fill, no fill. Now we have our 4 charts. Look at them here. So now select this one first, just to avoid any mistake. Control, you can actually rename it in case just not to make mistakes. So let's start with total sale. So Control C, come to your dashboard and paste it. Control V. Now adjust it. Drag it here. Now come to plus and remove axis. Let's just have the line chart here. So you want to select the double box, you just want one selection. This total sales, I think I'm going to bring it down. Just let it be in the middle while your chart will sit by the side. And then adjust it. So this is your total sales. Let's do the same for total profit, total units sold, and total operating margin. I would actually love this to be longer, but let's see. Drag it down. Now let's do the same for the total profit. Come to KPI, copy profits, Control C, come to your dashboard and paste it there. Now adjust it. Come to plus and remove the axis. Then do the same for, back to your KPI, do the same for your operating profit, Control C, come to your dashboard, paste it here. Remove axis again and minimize. Then come back to your KPI, select this next one, Control C, come back to dashboard for your operating margin and paste it here. Make sure you are copying the correct line and reduce the size. Come to axis and turn it off. So let's adjust the others to these two. Enter, take your operating margin, enter, your units sold, enter. So you have your, let's select this again, expand a little. So you have your line chart. When you hover on the line chart, you're going to have your point. Now for this line chart, still select it again. Come to formatting, not like this, right click, format plot area, select the lines and reduce the width. We don't want it to be too big, so you can reduce the width to 2. Do the same for the others. Lines, come to fill, reduce the width to 2, lines, fill, reduce the width to 2, lines, come to fill and reduce the width to 2. Then there's something we call markers. Markers are just like points along the line. So you can select all the lines, select the lines, sorry. Let's save this. As you're working, just save your file in case your laptop shuts down. Select the lines, come to fill. Here we have marker. You can select a marker option. So let's select this circle. Let's select built-in. Then come to this rounded one. You can reduce the size of your marker and then let's look at how it is. Okay, I think we need to still work on the marker. Go back to marker, come to marker option. Let's increase the size to 5 or 6. Then come to the color. Use this dark color for your marker. Same thing for the border. These are same dark color you use for your border. So you have something like this. Let's do the same for the others. So you have these two, the marker. So select this, copy formatting, Control C, select the next chart, Control V. Okay, so when you do that, the fill option changes back to white. So let's just put it back to no fill. So copy again, Control C, paste it here, Control V. Do the same for here. Copy this, Control C, paste it here, Control V. So you have all your markers on your line chart. You have your values by the side. You have your basically every information you need here. So this is what we call our KPI. This is a very simple KPI, like I said, and this is very suitable for beginners. So if you're just learning data analytics for the first time, this you can start with very simple projects like this before you go into more advanced projects. So let's just adjust this so it will fit in nicely in our charts. So this is it. We've done something very amazing here. We have our sales performance, but there's one more thing. I told you that we still need to set our slicer so it to apply here. So right click your timeline slicer, come to report connections and select these other pivot tables too. Okay, everything has been selected. Good, 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 good. And that is because we copied the pivot table from the previous page to here. So it just applied that settings to us. So once I filter to another year, you see that the information there will change, including the lines. Can you see that? 2020, 2021. I think there's no information for 2022. That's why you see blank. So you can use 2020 for your filter or 2021. If you want to clear filter, select this clear filter icon and all the filters will be cleared and reverted back to its default settings. So let's put this here. So once you're done, close this and you now have a very good dashboard I can use and upload on your portfolio. To upload this dashboard on your portfolio, all you simply need to do is to click here. Make sure you are not clicking make sure there is no cell that is being clicked that is showing. Just as you can see, I'm scrolling down and I'm going to select a cell under so that it will not show. I don't want that green box to show. Then I'm going to go up and use my screenshotting tool. In my own case, it is Windows plus Shift key plus S. I'll then screenshot this particular dashboard and upload it as a display picture for my Adidas Sales Analysis project in my portfolio. You can even use it to post online to show people that you have created a very beautiful dashboard. Not just beautiful, but insightful. So make sure you are screenshotting it neatly. We don't have any borders. There's a border here, so I have to redo this screenshot again. So Windows Shift S. Then neatly screenshot from the side so we don't have any lines showing the borders. Let's look at this. Good. So this is far more better. So this can be uploaded. So this is a very simple one-page dashboard, and I would love to see you create it. So make sure you create it. Tag me. I'm on LinkedIn, so you can search me on LinkedIn and tag me to your projects. All right. So see you in the next video. If you have any questions, just ask me here in the comment section. And I'll also be attaching a link to this dashboard here in the comments in the description. So make sure you click on the link so that you can get the dashboard, the data set I use. This is a very popular data set and it's a sample data set. It does not reflect the real indicate the real data of Adidas. So see you in the next video and thank you for watching.